cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video we'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 4 of the anime series Hitsugi no Chaika. And this was a thoroughly enjoyable episode from beginning to end, I have to say. We're pretty much picking up right where we left off. The Overthrows have successfully surrounded Toru, and he's only just barely, saved by the guys, the visage of Dominika Skoda. This next in the line of the 8 heroes who took down Arthur Gaz's empire and Arthur Gaz himself in order to find those remains that Chaika herself are looking for. And I found this episode to be truly compelling in that they kind of enter with like this ruse in effect. You basically have Akari talking about how she and Toru are these, they're blood relation siblings and they have a forbidden love with each other. What is it with the Japanese predilection toward these pseudo-incestuous relationships? I don't really understand it, to be honest. But in fact, we find out, they're not actually blood relation. They've just grown up together. And so it's kind of okay that there might be an attraction of some kind there. But of course, this is all hullabaloo that they're just trying to get in the good graces of Dominika Skoda. Now, it's very interesting that you notice from right off, her eyes are an almost crimson red. And it seems like her mansion, once they get to her manor house, is completely empty, except for, of course, portraits and statuettes of Dominika Skoda, basically equaling the fact that she's very narcissistic and shallow and stuff like that, until you get the bigger picture. And the bigger picture, it's very interesting because they find, the only other living beings in the entire area are these cats, and they both have, one is black, one is white, they both have the same crimson eyes. So I begin to suspect, because she has this shape-shifting dragon probably in her employ, the magic of this beast, maybe there's changeling stuff going on where these cats are actually her, keeping tabs on them and everything. And of course, this all turns out to be true. They have pretty much laid waste their entire plan of action, or at least any of those aspects they wanted to keep remaining secret. She's aware of it all. They have breakfast the next morning, and it's Toru's plan essentially to ask her point blank for the remains. And this is what starts the whole ball and chain. What made this episode so compelling to me was, in fact, this was never Dominika Skoda. This was the Dragoon itself. They were looking for the beast. They were told the beast was not there and everything like that. And so they figured they had a sure shot. But being a being that was actually influenced by Dominika Skoda's, the original Dominika Skoda's want for battle and feeling of uselessness, and, I guess in her own right, she was kind of a saboteur in the same manner that Toru and Akari are. They need battle. They need some kind of function, form and function to their lives. Otherwise, they feel useless, meaningless. They would wither away and die. And we find out that that's essentially what happened. This Dragoon, in the form of Dominika, challenges Toru and Akari to a fight. She says, if you want those remains, you're going to have to take them from my cold, dead hands, essentially. And they battle. They pretty much, it's a pretty epic battle sequence, as short as it is, because it does resound with that, emanation once Toru has actually backed her into a corner. Finally, the transformation revealing the dragon side of this persona is revealed, and that was just phenomenal to me watching. Of course, I love how honorable the characters all proved to be in the end as well, because you have Toru, going against his better graces of destroying this creature. He says, that was never the purpose. I just wanted to beat you so we could get these artifacts, these relics left over from Arthur Gaz for my master, who is, of course, Chaika. And I love that there's also a sort of, lover's quarrel tension going on per some of his words at the breakfast table that, he might be interested in Chaika as well. And so there's almost like a love triangle thing hinted at, like for a comedic effect at least. I'll be glad if they don't actually delve into that on any dramatic level. But they essentially do defeat this Dominika dragon form, and it's left with, once again, this listless feeling for a few moments there where it's like, what do I do now? We find out what happened to the real Dominika. As I said, she sort of withered away and died with this disease, feeling useless and worthless, had no purpose, form, and function to her life. So now this Dragoon in her form has taken on a new form, Frederica. And it's very interesting because she has a very similar look and style to the way Chaika looks, her almost gothic Lolita-esque appearance. And we find that, she basically grabs onto Toru's arm, bites him, and says, my new purpose in life is to kill you at some point in your future. You're going to be watching your asshole, heal all your wounds for now. And she becomes the fourth member of this little traveling group. I absolutely loved it because it was very much, reminiscent to like how you would go around finding party members in an RPG, a role-playing game like Final Fantasy. I just loved how this episode ended. Of course, they will be moving on, and it seems as though, per the preview for the next episode, that Frederica will be getting herself into trouble at some point because she doesn't want to listen to rules and follow probably Toru's lead and everything like that. So it's going to be very comedic. I'm sure it's going to be very compelling, and I love where we left off. I love everything that happened in this episode. So otherwise, it'll be pretty much it for me on this. I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.